Hi everyone, welcome back to Scale Models with Mike in issue number 8 of Build Your ET the Extraterrestrial. This is the last issue of this pack, and by God, the next pack is a big package. We've got about 6 or 7 issues in that one, so it's going to be a fun one because that's where the skeletal support comes in to sort of encapsulate the head. So this one's a really fun one because we are going to be putting a motor into that plate that we put in last time. This is the servo motor of the eyelids. I don't know at this stage whether we're going to be powering up the eyelids so it moves, but the main section for this issue is to get all the mechanical work in. So as you can see, we'll be putting some cogs in. We will need that grease from last issue. They do actually say to use like a fine brush, but it's quite sticky stuff, so I think it's probably best to just work from the packet. And then in here, as you can see, we're going to sit a motor on. This motor is going to primarily operate this eyelid section. So for example, this part here. So you've got a motor that operates the eyes, and then a motor that operates this contraption here. Okay, and then obviously we're going to connect all that up, and then all secure it into the plating panel. And then the great bit is we actually get to connect this through the hole, so the wire will actually get tucked in and lovely, and obviously we'll have a wire coming off here. There must be something where we put the wire into that because it can't be trailing under there, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But that's what it is, and then that's the end of this issue. Issue or pack if you like. So without further ado, I think we better get stuck into this and get this going. So what we want to do first of all is to bring in our plate section that we worked in last time, and we want to get ourselves some pins. Okay, so we're going to get ourselves the pins. Just going to get them now. And what we need to do is we need to pop the pin. I can see here there's a big one and then a smaller hole next door to it. So we want to put that into this hole here. And you can see that it goes in halfway, as you can see there. And what's going to happen is we're going to put in the cog next. Now there's 2 different types of cog. You've got this upside down one with a little bit of a smaller cog on it, and then you've got a flattish one. So one's like a bigger side and the other one's like a smaller side. We're going to put on the one that has the smaller cog, and you want the raised part upwards. That's going to fit over the top of this pin here. Okay, and then what we're going to do is grab the other pin. That's going to sit into this hole just here. You always do the smaller of the cogs first, and then we're going to pop in the smaller cog with that. Looks like a little sort of flower sort of head, I suppose, and these teeth will interlock with this one to make it work. So for example, if I was to put that down there, you can see that that's now operating the other one and turning that lovely. So this is where the fun part comes in. It's that sticky greasy stuff that we've got to put in now. Again, I'm going to keep some because I don't know if we're going to be using any for other issues, so just going to squirt some on there. We'll try it with that first. Yep, and we'll see if that's enough yet for the grease. As you can see, it does tend to go everywhere, so you've got to really be careful with this stuff here. And then I think I might just put a little bit just on the teeth there. Okay, so because we want to get as much grease onto there as possible. Okay, I'm going to get a little bit more because I want to get some around that part there. just rotate that round. I mean, because it's sitting in one of the bits, as it goes round, it will flick it round anyway. So yeah, that'll go around there quite snug. There's lots of grease under the other cog as well, so I'm quite happy with that. I just don't want to get any on here. You can see there's a bit just on there, so I will not too fussed if it gets onto it, because it's going to be hidden anyway, so I'm quite happy with that. Tricky to work with this stuff, so yeah. Right, so once we've greased that up, the next thing to do is to put the actual motor in position. And as you can see, this is the motor itself, which I think we might have to put a little bit more grease on. We're just going to take out the wire here, and this is going to go, let's have a look. They want the wire facing, so the wires on this one need to face upwards. That's going to pop into there, and I just want to put a little bit of grease onto that little part at the top. Yeah, perfect. Okay, and then, believe you me, I have found if you get this on your skin, it is really difficult. Like, it won't just rub off. You need to like wash it off. So yeah, it's quite a hard one there. So that's onto there. I'm just going to give my hands a wash, because this is absolutely cake. And as I say, it's terrible to get off. I feel like I'm doing cooking. Okay, so next what we're going to do is we're going to put the housing on now, this little contraption here. We do need to feed the wire up through here. So they want, whoops, what's happened there? It will come a bit loose while it's not connected, and they do actually give us a little bit of a, they do give us like a little bit of a wire section there for that to go down, so I assume we'll bring that all the way down. You can see we've got a hole here, hole there, and a hole at the top. That's going to go down there and feed over the top of here. So feed onto there. I think that's all looking lovely. I have noticed, is that right the way down? Yeah, I think that's all the way down. I will check it in a minute. It won't be connected with nothing, but the grease is sort of like sticking to the housing, so I'd need to make sure that it's, you know, all okay and not stuck to anything. But next we're going to secure the, whoops, next we're going to secure these in. There we go. I think this probably is the only build I've worked on that has a lot of motors in it and like cog work. We don't really get, like some builds we don't get an option to work with cogs and that, so it's quite nice to work on a build that we get to do some other bits and pieces, you know. So that's that one. We're next going to put this one into here. Yep. Whew. And then that's the last screw going in at this top section here. Now I suspect the reason there's a hole in this little part here is I suspect that's to allow like the heat to get out, because when this is spinning round it will generate heat, and so I suspect that's why there's an air hole there. So yeah, okay. can see a bit of that grease seeping out there, so I have to get a bit of tissue on that in a minute. This isn't the screwdriver I normally use. I've lost my PH20, it's around here somewhere, but I had to pinch this one, so from a different build. Okay, and then I'm just going to get rid of that seepage. There we go, lovely. Okay, so I just want to test to see if this is going to be working okay. Again, I can see a little bit, this is horrible stuff to get off. See a bit of seepage into here. I mean, I want to check this. What I'm doing here is I'm just checking the sound of it. So I just want to check that it's all working, because we don't want to build any more onto it if we've got a fouled motor. So we're just going to pop this into here like so, and then hopefully we can get a bit of sound. You saw it got stuck there, so just testing it a bit because it did get jammed a bit. I think that's working fine. As I say, there is grease there, so when it's going around it will flick the grease around anyway. And even though I've wiped some, you can see the grease might slip out anyway onto that, so it's working fine. Happy with that. That actually sounds more quieter than when we actually pull it into, like if we was to pull it into this one here. A minute. Yeah, if we was to put it into this one here, it actually feels more quiet, like more quiet, because this one, it's more noisy, isn't it? And it's got a bit of squeaking as well. But yeah, I think that is looking good. So that is it for that issue. I'm just going to turn that around, make sure that the eyes are working again, okay? So we'll just turn that around. I'm always doing tests, you see, so... Oops. Yeah, so I'm happy with that. Okay, so that's that issue done. Obviously, we will be working on other things around here, because obviously this has got to plug into something, and so does that. So yeah, and then obviously we'll have the skeletal structure covering it, but that's it for this consignment. There's really not much more to do now, so it's a case of waiting for our next package. But that is the next issue all done. As you can see, issue 8. I'm a bit concerned about that squeaking, so I might have to look at that. Normally that happens if a part is rubbing on something, but it still moves. I'm not going to take it, like strip that down unless something gets stuck. But yeah, I think that's been a really cool issue, so obviously that's all that done, and then all ready for issue number 9 when it comes. So thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like, share, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Always tap that notification bell so you can be alerted as and when a video comes on to the channel, and I will see you soon for pack 9 coming up next week. Take care and bye bye.